you filled out the registration, you will note that I did have an option to donate to the Christ Hospital here in Cincinnati for our first responders and everything that's going on in the world and how things are being managed and taken care of. I didn't want to not have purpose behind this offering, and so that's what I chose to do. And with the help of Amy Scalia with CincyChic, we put this together and reached out to them, and they were open to receiving donations, obviously, but the ideal behind it, because of the vision part of it, I mean, these first responders and everybody out on the front lines, I mean, it's really for them, I think it's going to be an experience that they're going to have to work through. You know, right now they're in the midst of it. We're already navigating and figuring it out, but you know, there's going to be a lot of uncertainty still moving beyond this. But hopefully, this will give you guys an opportunity to shift out of what's going on and just put some new perspective and opportunity to grow and expand in your life. And that's one of the ways that we can do that. So it looks like the people joining has slowed down a little bit. We're at 8:05. I think the poll will still stay up if anybody hasn't answered that yet. Be sure to answer the poll. And then I'm going to switch over to my slides. Maybe. All right, still going here. Okay, and I think I'm still. Yeah. Okay, so as everybody still gets joined, you see the slides okay? Thumbs up, everybody can see the slides okay? Because now I only have a few people that I can see over here. So Kathleen O'Hara, Colleen, Sylvia, and Sherry, you are the 4 that I see over here. So I want to make sure if you know, give me this if something goes, you know, haywire. But other than that, we'll get started then. Again, my name's Melissa Kirkpatrick. I am the CEO and founder of Find Your Own Drive, and I'm presenting to you today an opportunity around a vision board, virtual vision board creation, manifesting from quarantine. And the reason I wanted to offer this particular vision board experience is because one of 2 things. There's a lot of ways to do a vision board, and there's also a lot of ways that people don't understand how a vision board works. And that's what I want to shine some light on. I have been a manifester since I was really, really young, before I even knew what that meant. I was creating my life because I set intentions, I had the desire, and I just went after things because I could see it in my mind's eye how it was going to play out. Today in this workshop, I'm going to present to you, this is the basic structure on why this workshop, what does it mean to manifest, who am I, what are the different types of vision boards, because believe it or not, they're not all the same. And then how do you actually create a vision board? And then what is it that really ignites the magic in a vision board to make it come true, and how you can finalize and affirm with the Cosmic Kitchen. So I'm assuming most of you have not heard those last 2 steps when you've created a vision board. If you have not heard those, put a 1 in the chat box. I want to know if you have not heard about igniting the magic or finalizing and affirming with the Cosmic Kitchen. Put a 1 in the box. Okay. Now let's see, where's my, all right, great. So the first thing I want to do before we take action in getting started is being able to really set your mind in the expectations of what's going on. And any type of training, lesson, teaching that you do, expectation is really big, because if you come into something without any expectations, then the end result is, well, I didn't get what I came here for. Well, okay, because you didn't have an expectation. Well, you told me you're going to teach me about vision boards. Okay, I did. But your expectation didn't have any validity around the fact that you wanted to be able to learn how to effectively create a vision board and ignite the magic in it so that you can start creating your life by design and having these things come into your existence. So that's the expectation that we have. And then your part also is to believe and trust. So no matter how much this sounds like foo-foo or who is she and this ain't gonna work for me, let that go, leave that at the door, because if you don't believe, you're never going to get what you want. We believed in Santa Claus. We believed in the Tooth Fairy, the Easter Bunny. We have the potential to believe. So just for a moment, let's believe in that. And then the other thing that I want to do is want to talk to you about grounding yourself. So oftentimes we are in a hustle bustle day to day. I don't know what you all did today before 8 p.m. tonight, but I'm sure some of you, your mind's over here, your mind's over there. So we're going to just take a moment and just kind of pause and breathe. Deep breath in. Yeah. If you have a glass of water or something to drink, take a sip of that. Feel your butt in the chair that you're sitting on. You know, feel your arms, your heart's beating, your blood's flowing. Yeah, the lights are on, the computer's working. I'm in this room in this moment. I feel good. I feel healthy. I like this CincyChic already. I'm glad I popped in here. This is going to be good. Do you see how different I brought you into this room versus before I did that, you were probably, like I said, here, there, and everywhere. So let's think about a tree in the middle, rooted down, and all the birds come back on to roost on that tree. So this is where we're talking about like grounding yourself, bring in all those things you got to worry about and do later. Let's just ground them in this moment. Take another big deep breath. And let's start learning. All right, who is this Melissa Kirkpatrick chick? Well, she is quite the phenomenon, if I would say so myself. At the age of 10, there in the bottom left-hand corner, that was my first entrepreneur gig that I had, that I sold stationery door to door. We lived out in the country, so I rode my bike, and the farm wives that were home, they bought stationery, note cards, and gift wrap from me, and I was able to get my product for free because I sold enough to them. That was quite the journey and the experience, but I truly know, looking back, that's where everything started. My dad had a business. I helped him in that. I started working at the age of 16. And then from there, things just really started moving forward. I was, doing the gold stars, the check marks. I was living my life. I got my secretarial training. I was an administrative assistant. I was having my kids. I married my high school sweetheart. And then I got to almost 30 and I'm like, shit, is this it? Like this is it? What now? And I was really caught dead in my tracks because I wasn't sure what was next or even what that looked like for me. And so because I married my high school sweetheart, I assumed it was him. I'm like, I need a divorce from him. He's got to be the problem. If you have a relationship like that, you might want to rethink that, because luckily someone had called me and said they were going back to school to get their teaching degree, and degree actually replaced the divorce. We're still happily married, and I went to school at 30 to get my teaching degree, worked full time, raised my boys. And from getting my teaching degree and teaching as an IT teacher for 7 years, we transitioned into the golf course business as owning and operating 2 golf courses. Was that on my vision board? It was not. Was being a teacher on my vision board? Probably so, because when I was little, I always played school in my room. So when I think about it in terms like that, then I'm like, okay, so teaching is a part of who I am, but now I own and operate these golf courses. What does that look like for me? And after the first couple of years, it was good because I was managing a big company. I was making lots of money. I was traveling. I was learning to play golf. And then I started teaching women the game of golf. And so that fulfilled the teaching that I wanted. So again, not necessarily clear cut on that vision board, but everything was matching up to what it was I was creating for my life on purpose. And then when we left the golf course business, we sold both courses, because if anybody's a golfer, they know golf is not the thing anymore. And we sold them. And then it was like, well, now what does Melissa do? And because I still had a passion for teaching women how to play golf and how you show up on the golf courses, how you show up in life and all of that, I just reinvented myself basically to be the woman who helps with mindset, motivation, transformation. And I help individuals with their life and their business, creating their best version of themselves, living their life on purpose, and not just settling for what it is that life has handed them. We want to be creative. We want to really understand how we can set something in motion and attain it. All of that was done because I had a thought and a purpose. And the thing about this also is, I got to remember to check that room, is the book publications that happen. I got to author in 2 different books. I wrote a chapter in that. I wrote my own book, the ebook on Find Your Own Drive, which you'll all get a copy of that. I ended up in Peru and went to different places there, one of them being Machu Picchu. Those things weren't on my list, but I did want to travel. I did want to communicate my message. So if you hear that, I'm saying this purposely because that's what we think when we do a vision board, that we don't think when we do a vision board. We just slap pictures and words and stuff on a board, but this is where you start thinking about, like, what do I really want? My journey to Peru wasn't just to go see Machu Picchu. It was a spiritual journey. It was a journey of a lifetime for me. And what I got out of that is priceless. And it made me even a better person. I got offered to go 2 years prior to that, but I didn't. But then the 2 years later, when it came up again, it was like no hesitation, and I went. So open your mind up to those endless possibilities. All right, so when I decided to create this workshop, I had recognized that there is a sense of immediacy, and there is a need like never before for someone to shine light on our lives. I feel like this is where I am gifted and being able to motivate. I'm able to raise people's vibration, and I feel like I am a beacon of light and hope for many. And not to say that conceitedly, but I just felt like that is one of my skill sets. And through all of this quarantine, it has not really affected my business at all. It actually has grown my business because more people want support. More people want to know, how do I grow my business? What do I do from this point forward? And so it's really helped me. But when I stepped back and said, I want to give something, you know, everybody's making masks and doing different things. What could Melissa do? And this is what I wanted to do, and make it where it's recorded and can distribute it beyond tonight and the ones that show up here. So when you think about everything that's going on with unemployment, furlough, homeschooling, reconsidering your career, wanting more clarity, life choices, needing balance, stress, some way to reduce the stress, people are teaching their kids their school lessons and they don't have no idea what they're doing, all of that. How many of you feel that energy around, like, wow, what am I doing the right things? Am I moving in the right direction? If you feel like you need more clarity, put a 1 in the chat box. If you need more clarity or maybe more structure, maybe it's something more like that. You just need something. And that's why you're here tonight, just being able to be supported. So with that being the reason for the workshop, the opportunity then was to be able to help you guys develop a vision board. Even if you did one at the beginning of 2020, you can revisit that. But I also want to give you some other tools and tips and tricks that's going to help you with that. So when we talk about a vision board and its purpose, we want to talk about it's really about where you want to go and who you want to become on that journey. That's really what a vision board is. Everything you do, how you do one thing's how you do all things. And when you look at this list, all of these areas are affected one way or the other. If you've heard of the life balance wheel, these are the areas, these are the sections that's on that. So we all experience these different areas differently. Our home, our environment, our career, our spiritual, our personal growth, our learning. But the thing is when you can put them all together and work with them, how you're treating family and friends, or the relationships you have with family and friends, is probably showing up in your work environment and your career and how you act there and how you act at home, your personal growth or your learning, your leisure time, your fun time. All of it has an underlying effect, tone around it. So when you look at this list, ideally you would look at the area that you are most struggling with. Maybe it is the career and the job. You're in this 9 to 5, you hate it, you wish you could change. Maybe this time out is the opportunity for you to really step into something. Maybe you're going to start your own multi-level marketing business. Maybe you're going to go into direct sales. Maybe you're going to take on a totally different career. You have that option and that choice. And this is a good place to start with this visionary thinking, because you don't have to tell anyone. This is sacred space. You guys are working on your own for this. And whatever it is you decide, even if you want a new relationship or you want to leave this relationship you're in, whatever that may look like, don't be afraid to feel that if that's truly what you want to do and desire to do for yourself. So if you look at this, what is the area that you most want to focus on? Because vision boards can be covering multiple areas. But when we can get really clear, and I'm going to give you an example later, then you'll start seeing how, oh, okay, I get it. And you may have 1 or 2 things. It may be, you know, you want to change careers, but you also know you need to learn some things in order to get to that next career, if that makes sense. All right, everybody's with me, right? So what is the purpose of a vision board? So this is a nice little image here, I thought, where someone was getting ready to create their board with the magazines. You got your scissors, the glue stick, poster board, you're ready to rock and roll. When we use images and words, it actually sparks our motivation and will remind us of our values, our goals, and our dreams. When you were almost 16, all you thought about was your driver's license, right? You knew at the age of 16 you were going to get your license. For most people, maybe it was 18, but you knew that, and you could see that very clearly. You had other people driving you could witness, you had other people getting their license that you were around, you knew that. And so those images were very clear in your mind, just like graduation, just like if you went to college, just like marrying your high school sweetheart or when you got married. All of those images floated in your head. You didn't create a vision board, right? You just saw it so clearly. And the driving of the car, I mean, you could feel the steering wheel, you could smell the fresh air coming through the windows down, your hair's blowing. You just knew what that felt like. So that's the emotional piece in it. You thought you could drive to California in, an hour because you didn't know any better. You were just going to get your license and that's what you were going to do. But they also, with a vision board, it reminds you to stay focused on what you want to accomplish. So the old saying, out of sight, out of mind, can be very true, because if you set the intention that you're going to eat better or healthier or exercise, and no one's holding you accountable, and you don't have something that reminds you, then chances are it's going to fall to the wayside. So we want to find a way to use our vision board to also provide, one, the focus of what we want to accomplish, and also our accountability. And truthfully, your attention is so powerful. Whatever you focus on, you can create for your life. So let's talk about goals versus intention. So when we talk about a goal is something that is measurable. You want to lose 10 pounds, you can measure that. You want to run 5 miles, you can measure that. You want to get a pay increase, you can measure that. Those goals are very manageable and measurable because they can be achieved. You can get them. When you talk about an intention, we are talking about something bigger, something that's undefiable, but undeniable. I don't know what those words are. I'm telling you what. That was, and when I spoke to it, put them down there, I knew what I was talking about. Now they just look like big words to me. The intention is what you're calling forth. It's a plan or it's an aim. So here's what happens with an intention. If I get thrown off course, such as a pandemic, right? I have to navigate and I have to reset my sail. The intention is still what you desired when 2020. I mean, that was a big thing. Everybody had their word, everybody had their vision board. 2020 was going to be the best year yet. We couldn't believe we finally arrived. And now we're like, oh my goodness, this was not on my vision board. This was not what I intended or planned. So now what? Those dreams and desires and passion and intentions that you had at the beginning of 2020, they are still attainable. I want you to believe and trust in that. It's just you're going to have to navigate the course differently in order for you to get there. And that is the way that you can measure through a goal when you start really setting sail again to reach the intentions that you desire. All right. So why do we create a vision board to begin with? So I told you let's see, let me go back here. I told you the difference between the goals and the intentions. So when we look at the vision board, then we want to create a vision, something that we can see in the mind's eye and also either on electronic or on a poster board, being able to see that intention and give it life. So the images is what brings it to life. Some people can't hold an image in their head very long, but you can see a picture, and a picture speaks 1,000 words. It also reinforces your daily affirmations. Affirmations are one of the most powerful tools because I'm a big teacher in conscious language, and I teach all my clients, and affirmations really are a part of that. When you say I can't, then you can't, and you say I won't, and then you won't. It's giving yourself permission to say I choose not to do that instead of I can't do that. I choose to do something else rather than that instead of saying I won't. So when we can reinforce the images on the board or in our mind with an affirmation that I am, with an I am statement, then I am reaching my desired weight. I am beginning to eat healthier. I am going back to school to get my degree. I am. So using those affirmations, you begin to see them when you see the images. You see it as if it already is. When I went to be a teacher at the age of 30, all I could see, and lucky for me, I worked in a school system, so I could see teachers all day long, and I just could put myself in that classroom. I taught adult ed classes, and I was in front of adult students and teaching them, but there was a difference of me going to be in front of the high school students and teaching them. So I was able to really set my sights on that. And my supervisor at the time, she was so sweet. She actually was a childhood, one of my childhood friends' mother, who happened to be my supervisor. You talk about full circle. But she said to me, she's like, Melissa, you can either be 34 and have your degree, or you can be 34 and not have your degree. It's your choice. And that's all it took. It was like, well, yeah, I mean, what do I got to lose? And everything aligned beautifully in order to be able to get my boys to school, get them taken care of, do my studies, all of that. So that's affirmations. That's putting words, your words, to your vision board. And then it also will help you to keep your attention focused on the future. Right now, some of us cannot see past the blinders. Some of us cannot see past all of the social media, all of the news, all of that. We just get inundated with it. And sometimes it's really hard to make a clear vision of what really is beyond this. The world has gone through many, many trials and tribulations much like this, and they've managed to survive and get beyond it. We will get beyond it, or if not, we die, right? Like, I mean, that's kind of the bottom line. So we're looking at how can we really up-level ourselves, create this life that when I'm able to go back out and start, and some of the states are starting to be engaging with community, be back into doing my services, how can I do that better? Or maybe there's something else I want to create instead. So, let me go back here. When I've got these windows all over the place, I'm still trying to make sure I get people in the room. So that's what oops, that's not what I want to do. All right. So when you bring your desires to reality, Henry Ford had this saying that if you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. And that was sort of what I was telling you at the beginning. Just open your mind to the possibilities and know. And then the language that you use around that is going to make the difference. Well, I created this vision board, yeah, but I know this stuff's not going to happen. I just did it because. Then, you know, that's not the attitude or the emotion we want to put behind it. We really want you to feel the desire, because our thoughts do become things. If you take a moment and look around your home, you created all that. You developed and designed every bit of it. The clutter, the unorganization, the cleanliness, the outdated carpet. That's me. We're in the process of remodeling. You know, I created all of that because my thought process was, I can't afford new carpet. Well, this carpet's okay. Well, we've got dogs. Well, before that we had kids. So 23 years later, you got some worn out carpet. But do you see how the emotion, my thoughts became things, because everything I put as the stopper or I don't want to do was the reason that it didn't get done or didn't get changed. So now when I started creating the remodel for the home, I started going on Pinterest. I started going to Home Depot. I started looking at paint samples. And as soon as I did that, my husband jumped on board. And then we started tearing out closets and tearing down walls, and you know, all of that started to happen. Then it's like, then we're going to do the bathroom. So all of that put it in motion because I had a vision that it's time. The Melissa I am now is not the Melissa of the future. So it's time for me to start leveling up to that next version of myself. And that Melissa would have updated carpet and furniture and appliances and all of that. And I believe that to be true. And so therefore I am creating my living space that fills my soul, makes me feel good. When I walk through the door, I'm happy, instead of the old version that comes in, goes straight to the refrigerator, hates the way things looks, really bummed out, hits the couch and watches TV. Big difference. And that truly has been one of the things that I have discovered with working with my transformation of the home. So again, I didn't create the vision board physically, but the vision board was up here as well as on my phone. So let me share with you a couple of ways that you can create Is everything still working okay, Kathleen, Colleen? Okay, all right. Somebody just messaged me and asked me that. So I want to share with you, oops, let's go back up here. Where am I at? new share, and this way. This is a new little feature that I learned, which is pretty cool. Make sure everybody's in. Where's it at? Why is it not working? Oh, don't tell me I won't be able to do this. Oh, I know what I gotta do. Okay. I don't know if anybody's done this with their phone on Zoom yet, but this is pretty amazing. So I definitely want it to be able to use it today. All right. So as we talk about vision boards and creating them, the first thing I wanted to show you is if you go into your apps and you type in vision board, there are numerous apps. So if you're someone that wants to use technology, there are free apps in here. I mean, lots of them that you can pick from that will help you create your vision board. Pretty cool stuff, right? There also is programs, PowerPoint you could create it in, you could create it with a Word document. You also can use Canva, if anyone's familiar with Canva. They actually have a format in there that allows you to create a vision board. So I just wanted to show you that. And then I also wanted to show where I had created a Pinterest account probably a year ago, and some of the things that I started doing. So here's the home remodel. So this is where I had gone to my friend's house in California. This wasn't a year ago. This was like several months ago. This was the home model one. So she had these big tiles. She lived in California. Some of you know that I went out to California, had the most amazing time. So I just started putting these pieces in here. And although it doesn't, actually, my home doesn't look like any of this, but one of the things I did pick to paint my cabinets black, so my kitchen cabinets are now black. The flooring, we did put carpet in one of the rooms, but we haven't decided on the kitchen flooring. So that was one thing that motivated me and drove me. And then here's another thing. What if I want to get a haircut? What kind of style do I want? What does it look like? What does it feel like? Jennifer Aniston, she's kind of my fave if you haven't noticed that. So that was another way. So even though these are for a particular time or place or situation, which some vision boards are, then you can create small vision boards like this. That's what I like about the technology. Now this is a mood board. I had a friend of mine, I didn't find the end product, but she said, give me all the things that move you, make you feel something. So obviously purple is my favorite color, orange is second with my wall. But these things really move me. The airplane, the night settings, just the orange and purple combo, like this outfit here, like that's pretty special. The flowers, so everything in this, when I look at this, it changes my mood. I mean, you've got romance, you got dinner on the beach, you've got gathering with friends, champagne, butterflies, right? This rockin' body in that bathing suit. So that's what I mean when I talk about putting the emotion behind what you're feeling. So if anyone uses something like this for a vision board, could you just put the name in the chat of what you're using? If it's Canva, if it's Pinterest, or if it's one of the other ones that we use, I would just be curious to know when I go back to the chat at a later time. I'm just curious about that. So yes, so some of the ones in the vision board, visual app, higher self, those kind of things. And then I found out that Hay House, if any of you are Louise Hay fan, or Mike Dooley and the Hay House, they actually have one. I just found this last night where you can create a vision board. The cool thing about Canva and these other ones is they already have a large library of photos that are available to you. So with that being said, I think it's just going to be a matter of what feels good to you. But again, the emotion that goes behind it is really the key to being able to create from that place of emotional attachment to it so that you can bring it to life quicker. Okay, let me go back to the... So with that being said, this was just kind of a screenshot of the different ones and how the boards were created. Different styles, different programs were used for these. Like this was my Pinterest board down here in the bottom center. This was on the one above it is done just on a push pin board. This one to the far, what's my right, so I'm not sure where it is on you, the 2019 one, that's just done in a journal book. So you can even take a journal book and write and draw and clip pictures and put that in there. So, and then over here, the digital one on the far left. So there are many multiple ways to do it, and there's no right or wrong way. You want to do what makes you feel good and what you're going to continue to look at and show up and move. The other thing is don't be afraid to change out pictures. If you come across another one that you like better, then change it out. Okay, everybody's still with me, right? All right, so there are types of vision boards. So as I mentioned on my Pinterest, where I had like the hairstyles, the home remodel, and then just the mood board with the colors and things like that, there is a certain type for certain things. And some people get that confused because they think the vision board has to be everything. I want to put my dogs on there. I want to put my cats on there, my living room furniture, my hairstyle, my maid, my trip to Bali, my fitness center, you know what I mean? Like there's a lot going on at one time. So how can we even manage all of that intel? That's where it becomes good to be able to pick a type of the board and have a theme around it. I'm going to show you how to make a statement so that you know what the board is. And then from that type, then you can really start the manifesting process. All right. So when we talk about the boards, there's one that's called a theme vision board. So it could be like your birthday or New Year's Eve or some special party, winning the lottery. If you want to win the lottery, this board may have everything you need about that event. And you would clip out the papers. This is how I want the place setting to look, and this is the food I want to serve, and this is the cake I want to buy, and these are the people I want to invite. See how that works up? And then from that, you start focusing on how to get there. You could do it with a new job. You could do it with just one area of your life that you're working on. The other type of board is I know exactly what I want vision board. And again, that could be something like a car. So when I did a vision board years ago, I put a maroon Cadillac, 4-door, I don't remember what the letters were behind the Cadillac car. It was, and if anybody remembers seeing that commercial, the lady's all dressed up in her heels and business suits. She gets in the car, she turns it on, and she says, when you get in your car and turn it on, does it return the favor? And that just had me sold. I'm like, I want this car. Like that was, yeah, Kathleen, I can see you. Yeah, so that was on my vision board. It was on my vision board for several years. And then when I was out with a friend, I saw Cadillac Escalades, and that just kind of changed my whole interest. I didn't even think about a Cadillac Escalade, but those are pretty nice ones. And a pearl white one was pretty spot on. So I had made mention to someone at it was a volleyball, weekly volleyball game that we played in. So I mentioned to someone, I want to get one of those Cadillac Escalades when I win the lottery. And they laughed and we joked. Well, the next week I came back and said, oh, I didn't win the lottery, so I didn't get my Cadillac Escalade. The girl that wasn't there the week before said, what did you just say? And I said, I was going to get a pearl white Escalade if I won the lottery. And she said, oh, my in-laws have one for sale. And I'm like, is it pearl white? She goes, it is. Okay, I'll be up next week to check it out. And next week I bought it and it's mine and I still have it today. So I bought it in like 2010, I think it was, and it's a 2002 model, but I love it. So I share that story with you to show you how quickly something can change. And when that happens, that's why I believe it's important that we say, or something better. Because if I was only settling for that maroon Cadillac car, I would have never had this car that I've been driving the past, what's that, not 10 years? Yeah. I mean, I got something better because I was willing to do that. So that's where you want to be able to, you're clear about your desires, but always add that or something more. Changing the environment and the surroundings. I shared that about my home, how I created that. And then the specific things that you want to manifest in your life. Be very specific. Remodeling my home was, I'm living in this home another 23 years probably, and I want to upgrade it. I want to make it look better. I want to bring in some new stuff. So that was my purpose behind that. Then the one we're going to do today is opening and allowing, because right now this is the manifesting from quarantine. We're not sure exactly what we want. Maybe you've been in a period of depression or grief or sadness or lost or just trying to find your way. You have a vision of what you want, but you're uncertain if it's even going to be possible, or is that plan you had before even going to work for you? And then you know that you want change, but you really don't know if it's possible. You don't know what the outcome is going to look like with the state of our affairs right now in our country and our world. But the thing is life goes on, so we do have to make some adjustments and plans. And planning is what I want to help you be able to create beyond this, so that I can energize you, that I can motivate you, that I can inspire you to take those next best steps in order to create the life by design on purpose, because you make it happen. Ooh, need to get a drink. All right, everybody still here? Still here and loving it? All right, so connecting with your truth. This was the part where I have a problem when people get together for a vision board party and you just tear out magazines and pictures and that and you put them on there. Because what happens is Sally over here says, oh, Melissa, you know, you should put the word motivator and inspiring and, you know, life coach. Okay. She encourages me to do that and I do that, but I'm already that, right? So why would I use those words again? Why would I not use words that lift me up to the next level? Why don't I move myself up to, let's see, if I'm a motivator, then I am an influencer. Maybe now I want to move into influencing. If I inspire people, now I want to lift people up. Do you see how the language can change? Because those are my words. Those are the words that I speak my truth. But oftentimes during the parties, we can be misled on things, and then we try to make them fit. It's like putting on a pair of shoes that are way too small, but you try to make them fit anyway. So that's where I want to give you permission, and you give yourself permission to say, the only thing that will go on here is my truth. And if you're brave enough to share this board with anyone else and they start to judge it, say, I really appreciate that you want to voice your opinion, but I would rather you not. Right? Because we don't want other people getting in our business like that. Like they're going to crush your dreams. We've had that stuff growing up. We've had more opportunities where we were going to be successful and somebody just crushed our dreams because of one word, one look, one sentence. I mean, it happens. And that's where I want to fill you up with this idea that I'm going to stand in my power. I am going to take full responsibility for what I'm creating in my life. And I am not going to let anyone stop me. I would not have recreated myself every decade as a little bit better and better and better had I let all of the individuals that said, what, you're going to quit your job and go to school? What, you're going to quit teaching and be a golf course owner? What, you're going to sell the golf courses to go be a coach? Like, had I not given myself permission to own that fully, I wouldn't be talking to you right now. And if I would have settled being a school secretary, I definitely wouldn't be talking to you right now. I might be retiring though. I think I would have been retiring pretty soon, but anyways. So that's what I want to encourage you with, speaking your truth around what you do, create, and develop on that. So for instance, let's say that you think that you're wanting a Porsche, a new watch, and a hot partner. Okay, which that's not a bad idea, right? But maybe if you really leaned into it, I've got boxes all over the place. If you really thought about it, maybe you just want more sleep, or maybe you want to take some drawing classes, or you just want less stuff to do on the weekends. Like it could be something like that, but we dismiss those things because we feel like, oh, if I got more sleep, people would not, they would judge me for sleeping all day. Or if I took a drawing class, that happened to me. My dad, when I was a junior in high school, wanted to take a drawing class at the college, and he said, nobody gets a degree in drawing. I'm like, well, I didn't want a degree. I just wanted to take a drawing class. But it's like really putting the truth to that. So if that aligns with you, either one is fine. It's just that I want you to recognize that sometimes we think that's what we want, but it might be something else. And I'm going to show you how to do that as well. The way that we begin to do that is starting with creating a vision board statement. If you've ever heard of a vision board statement, put a Y for yes in the chat box. Have you ever heard of a vision board statement? If so, put a Y in the chat box. So what is a vision board statement? A vision board statement is what you want. well, I'll just read it. Think of the statement that would offer you a glimpse into what's next beyond quarantine. So I'm going to give you an example that I created, and I say, I want to become a health and wellness coach. And if Emily's still on the call, she's going to love this. She's one of my clients, and we were just talking about this in her notes, and we have our meeting tomorrow. So hopefully this helps you, Emily. I can't see you, but you can put in the chat box that you see this. So I want to be a health and wellness coach. Then you ask the next question. Well, why do I want to become a health and wellness coach? Good question. Okay, so my answer might be to educate others on taking care of their nutritional and physical needs. That sounds good, right? So then when you think about teaching others about their nutritional and physical needs, what 3 emotions come up with that? Oh, I get happy, I get excited, and I feel so confident because I know I can do it. Okay. Then, as a health and wellness coach who is happy, excited, and confident to support others and learning to take care of their nutritional and physical needs, what do you get in return? Got my boxes in my way again. Somebody told me they're always going to be in your way. And I improve my health, I improve my personal health and lifestyle and generate income. Now, has everybody noticed how I kept repeating the question, adding in the words? So the white sentence added in the black words to that each time. So the statement starts with what I want, and then why do I want that? And when I think about that, how do I feel? So I attach the emotion, and then what do I get in return? So it looks something like this. And I've even added pictures. As a health and wellness coach, I am happy, excited, and confident to support others and learning to take care of their nutritional and physical needs while improving my personal health and lifestyle and generating an income. Yeah? And then I've attached pictures to it, words, images, whatever it would be. I even put myself working on the beach because this lifestyle I'm going to create, I'm going to be able to be laptop working at the ocean, working with my clients. I'm going to be able to earn money. I'm going to be able to help people set their health goals. I have all these words over here. I have a diet plan. So whatever that looks like, but it's not too much, right? It's just enough to inspire me. And I could put a lot more. I could put a lot less. But do you see how making that statement, then I can move into these words and into these images? Because now I can see myself as that health and wellness coach. I'm not there yet, right? Because I'm here today and I'm looking out forward. So what are the things am I going to need to do then to even get to that place of a health and wellness coach? Do I need to take a class? Do I need to watch YouTube videos? Do I need to create this, that, and the other? So you can build off of that. But these images, when you're looking at it and you would hang it up in your office or have it on your phone or wherever that might be, would inspire you to take the next action towards achieving that. Everybody follow me? Can I get some yeses in the chat box? I'm going to open up the chat box in a minute. Be sure to, if you have questions, we're getting to that point here in just a minute because I definitely want to be able to answer questions on the fly. We still got some work that we're going to do first, but where's my, okay. So with that being said, how do we take action? Taking action is focusing on the thing that you want. So we talked about that earlier. You're going to get very specific. Is it changing careers? Is it remodeling your home? Is it losing weight? Whatever that is, think of that one area. And then pay attention to the kind of emotion that you experience in your goals. This is just a recap of what I just demonstrated. And then believe your dream remains within reach. So even though I'm going to be a health and wellness coach or something better, I'm going to take action every day. And that to me is the missing ingredient that people who create their vision boards forget to do. They think they paste everything on the board, they put it over in the corner, and by tomorrow morning, I should open up my front door, Amazon Prime should deliver everything that I wanted to my door, and life will just be sunshine and rainbows, right? It doesn't work that way. Unfortunately, we have to put it in motion. We have to take inspired action. We have to start working towards what that looks like. And then a few minutes a day in the morning or at night, looking at that images and maybe even journaling about it, that locks it in even more. And you ask yourself, what can I do in this moment towards my goal? If you're going to be a health and wellness coach, then maybe I need to read something. Maybe I need to reach out to Susie, who's a health and wellness coach. Maybe I need to, really map out my business plan. It's all about what comes up. And that action also comes from inspired action. So when you have a thought to create something or do something, just like when you're driving somewhere and you're like, oh, I should go that way, and you don't, start doing those kind of things, because there's a message, there's something for you by using your intuition to say, oh, I'm going to go this way or that way. Now, don't follow it up and think, oh, I shouldn't have gone this way. Something bad's going to happen. I knew I should have just kept going the route I was on. But no, Melissa said, use your intuition and take the other road. And I did. You can't go there. You just got to be like, I'm curious to see why I went ahead and went this route instead of the other route. It's the same thing with your board. Why am I putting this picture on here? Does this picture really resonate with me, or would something serve better? Then when you create the board, you have your statement, you have your emotional connection, and you have all your images and words that put you right in to that feeling that it already is. And that's another key line. It already is. When you look at your board and you feel into it, and before you leave that board, you would say, and so it is, and so it is. Because the mind doesn't know the difference between your thoughts and your reality, but your mind will create your reality, because the two work interchangeably together. So make sure that the statements that you make about it, the emotional connection you have about it, and the images and words that you use all fit together, just like putting a puzzle together. So what I would like to do now, I couldn't find my chat box. I gotta find my chat box. Questions. I'm opening for questions if I can find it. I cannot find my chat box. Security. Let me stop this shit. Oh, down. Well, my thing's at the top. It's usually at the bottom. Yeah, it usually just says chat, right? I have used this before. Colleen, let me find you. Okay. Wait a minute. No, it's not gonna let me unmute you because I have it set up where no one can unmute. Okay. Oh, it's right at the top. Duh, it was a different color. Okay. Questions that we have. Do you suggest one board at a time, or can you create a collection of words and images for 2 or 3 different boards at the same time? That is a very good question, Sharon. So what I would recommend, because you're just learning how to put this together, I would start with 1. Now, as you're researching for the 1 and other things show up, you could put those over to the side, like kind of put a pin in it or a note in it. But I would feel that you being able to create your first board alone would serve you better than trying to create multiple boards at one time. Let's see, why do you recommend visiting your vision board every day, morning, night, and midday? So when you are thinking about going on vacation, you are thinking about it day in and day out. You cannot wait to get out of the job. You can't wait to be gone for 2 weeks or a week or whatever that is. You're constantly thinking about it. You're constantly thinking about what you need to pack, all of those things. That emotional energy is what gets you excited. So by looking at your vision board every day, doing that for a couple of minutes here and there, that's going to reactivate that sensory feeling, because you're going to have days that you're in shit storms and people are making you mad and things aren't going as planned. And the ideal is to come back into that vision board and fill your soul back up with the energy and vibration that makes you feel good. Because if too many people bring you down, like we were saying, then your chances of achieving it are going to be slimmer to the point where you just drop it all together. So that's why I would recommend that you look at it often, especially in the beginning, so that you can really ignite the energy around creating your next best version of yourself. Do you do this often? I know some that should be on here. The workshop, I think you're asking, Kim. I'm not sure what that might, if that's what you're asking. So this is the first time I've done the vision board. I do trainings though, if you're asking about that. Okay. Let's see, can you say more about the emotional connection on this current slide. Okay, so the emotional connection was when I was talking about becoming a health coach and what that does for me. It makes me happy, it makes me excited and confident. So that's a feeling. So the emotional feelings. You may be so moved by something you want to cry. That's an emotional connection. You may be so happy about something you want to cry. And so when you think about that, the emotional connection to what you're creating is, what do you feel like when this happens? When you get to that, what are you going to feel like? When I go to the ocean, I cry. I don't know what it is, but my emotions cry. I think the ocean is, I think I was a mermaid, maybe in a former life, perhaps, but there is just an emotional connection to that. The massiveness, the colors, the sound, all of that, that's what moves me. The smell, everything, it just is an emotional attachment. That's what you want to bring into the emotional side of your statement. When you get all warm and fuzzy inside because you've decided to do this. When we talked about getting your driver's license, getting through high school, getting married, finding the ideal job, whatever that is, like that's the emotional. Does that answer your question? Okay, yes, it did. Okay, do you suggest doing vision boards through the app or do one on a poster board? Is one better than the other? I do not believe one is better than the other. I think it's what you're most comfortable working with. So if you are a technology person, you are on your phone a lot, you do Pinterest, you are able to screenshot or whatever, then that might be a better version for you. If you are someone that likes to cut and paste and put on a board and physically touch and feel, you can print pictures off the internet, you can get magazines, then you can do the vision board. The one was a cork board, so you could actually use thumbtacks and do the cork board, you know, just put them up there, and then if you want to change them again. But I really don't think, I think it's what's going to make you feel good. You may want to try out different ones. There was also, I mentioned the journal, where you could just have a book, like a big sketchbook, and you could write phrases and sentences and do doodles or drawings or clip a picture and put in there. So it's really you aligning to what makes you feel like, yeah, I can do this. This feels good. This is what I'm committed to doing. It's just like going on a diet or an exercise program. We have to figure out what works for us, and I haven't found mine yet, but I'm just saying I've tried a lot of them. So yeah, see what works best for you. Okay, what else do we have? All right, so if you have any other questions, drop those in there. But for now, let's see where we are in time. Oh, we've got good time. What I would, let's see, what do I want to do? Because I want to make sure that, see if there's any more questions. Make sure I haven't skipped anybody. Let's see if I answered that one. Sorry about that. I just want to make sure that I've got all the questions that were answered and stuff on that. All right, so, oh, here comes another one. There we go. Okay. Once you create your first board, at what point do you move on to your next board? And is it when you realize you have achieved everything on the board, or when you are satisfied with what you have accomplished, then move on to the next one? That's a great question. So some people like to keep their boards as if they are like documents that you can file away. So they want to go back and reflect on the board that they created for that time and place. You can also put the date on it if you want to do something like that. For me, I would suggest that if you, not knowing you personally, being able to know what you're creating, if you do have several things that you're goal oriented around, the chart that I showed you earlier about the different things in our life wheel, like the family, career, spirituality, all of that, it's like aligning which one of those you really feel like you want to up level in first, and then creating that board. So when that board has things on there and you feel like, oh, this is me, then I feel like you could file that away and start creating the next board. Because if you look at the board and you say, yes, this feels good, this is where I'm at, not everything is exactly, and that's okay, because it could be something better. But the point is now you have become that version of yourself. When you can look at that board and say, yes, this is who I am, this is what I created for myself, then you're able to move into the next one. Now, you may pull one or two things from that board into the next one, because for me, there's a cleaning lady that always shows up on my board. And I've realized I'm the cleaning lady because I am not paying someone to come clean my house, because years ago when I had a cleaning lady, I had to clean the house before the cleaning lady came. So it was funny that I recognized I kept moving that one forward, and it was like, oh, okay. But then when we owned and operated the golf courses, the employees were the ones that cleaned the clubhouse after I, had done it all those years. When we hired our staff, then they did it. And then it was like, well, maybe that was related to the cleaning lady. I just wasn't specific that I needed it in my home, if that makes sense. But anyways, yeah, so I would say definitely you can work on multiple boards if you feel aligned with that. As I mentioned to the other question, maybe doing one board and feel really good about that before you create the second one, but keeping them either on file. You can change them as often as you like. There's no hard set rule that if you put a one car picture up there and then you see another one you like better and you want to switch it out, do that. And it doesn't matter. Just keep filling your soul and your emotions and your energy and excitement around it. Like Christmas, when you filled out the Christmas list of what you wanted, like those kind of feelings, or your birthday or whatever that you wanted, that's the same type of emotion and feeling we put behind it. And I think that's what's been missing for a lot of people, because they don't realize that there really is power in that you really can create things as easy as thinking about them over and over again, and really getting that in your mind's eye, and then taking action. I hope that answers your question. Yeah, some of you, if you want to use your wall in your house and just paste things all over, that might be a fun way to do it too. Sometimes I think about that. There's so much I want, but you can do it in chunks or pieces, or however that may look for you. Okay. So I do want to share that with this offering tonight, that you will get a follow-up email. In that email, you will have the link to the ebook. You will have also my calendar link, because everyone that has attended tonight, I want to give you a 20 to 30 minute activation call. And ideally, it will be around you creating your vision board. So if you can get some things done and then schedule the call with me, and I've opened my calendar up pretty wide, so it should be able to fit everything but Sundays. I don't have time scheduled for Sunday, but I may drop a few times in that. So you'll get my link to schedule that in, so we can have an activation conversation around that. You will also receive a couple of other free things from some of my affiliates that will support you with creating your dream, your vision, and moving forward. And then if you want to follow me, I have my website. Everything, my handles are Find Your Own Drive. So the YouTube, the Instagram, Facebook, and website are all Find Your Own Drive. That's where you can find. And be sure to use the word own. And I just want to let you know the reason own is there, because anyone can help you find your drive. It's when you actually take ownership of saying, this is what drives me, this is what moves me. And you'll see in my book, the acronym for DRIVE is Desire, Receive, Implement, Visualize, and Evolve. So it's really a step-by-step self-help book that can help you in this process of creating your vision board, because it's even going to tap into some more of that, of how we really desire something, receive it, implement, visualize, and evolve. I really am in gratitude for the support that I had with CincyChic and Amy, and getting this out there and promoting it. I also am in gratitude for all the participants that have shown up tonight and the ones that have registered. I really feel the motivation or the energy of the group is there. I just want to do one more thing. Oh, I had a slide for that. Well, looky there. There's the things. You're going to get the replay of the video, the book, the follow-up call, and then the downloadable links. I want to take this off of don't share and see everybody's beautiful faces. Oh, wow. Yeah, we got a good group. Okay. So anyways, if there are any more questions, I will stay on. We projected it would go till about 9:30. We did this in an hour. I would like maybe to stay on if you guys want to kind of look at some things. If a question comes up, if you're going to use digital, or if you want to do magazines and poster boards. But I hope this is in service to you. As always, my intention is to motivate you, inspire you, and give you tools that you can use moving your life forward. I always encourage people to look at ways that you can live your best life now in the best version. And it just fills my heart and soul to just be able to see so many amazing individuals that shown up for themselves. You gave yourself permission. You committed to your are you committed to showing up? And that to me is, that's where everything just started. You just shifted something in yourself that from this time forward, things are going to look different to you. So thank you. I'm in gratitude for all of you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I think we can, yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Look for that email coming in the next couple of days or so, as soon as we get the video revised and stuff.
Thanks, Melissa.
You're welcome. I can unmute. Let's see if there's any more questions. I'm still here. I'll still be here for you guys, so don't feel like you have to jump off. If you have questions that came up, if you want to kind of search your computer. I was excited when I found out about this. I've been wanting to create a vision board, and thank you for helping us along. I want to create it, then get back with you if that's okay. That is okay. Absolutely. We will definitely connect and have a conversation. You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Oh, thanks, Kim. I was trying to see, I think if you guys, participants. There we go. Oops, I unmuted all. Okay, yeah, I think you can unmute yourself too if you want to. Oops. Allow participants. There you go. I think you can unmute yourself now if you need to. Let's see, I'm thinking a board around my career, but I also want the success of my career to allow things I want, like a house. Right. So when I showed you how I put the lady up the ocean working on her laptop, that would be the same thing. So you can feed those pictures in there as to the home that you're going to create when your career reaches the level of success to be able to add that home. So does that make sense? Kathleen, you were the one that, yeah. Here, let me unmute you. Did that work? Did that work?
Yeah.
There
Okay. Yes, it does make sense. I had to take my dog out. That's when I stopped video before. He was not letting me wait on him any longer. So I might have missed that little section. So I'll watch it in the re-video. But yeah, that's what I was thinking. You know, yes. I think, you know, a little bit like I'm kind of just starting the career, and I want the career to grow so that the things I want in my life post-divorce that I don't have right now, I can have again. Yes, yes, exactly. And it may be they coincide. This is the career I'm building, and this is the lifestyle I'll be living. So they could be on the same board? Mm-hmm. Yeah, you could separate them, like kind of divide it out a little bit so that, because that's going to motivate you even more with your career, right? You're going to look at that and go, oh, yeah, I'm doing all of this for my career because this is where I'm going to be as I up level in my career. So okay. Yeah, I think that would work out fine because you have that clear separation, and that's your driver, that's your motivator. Yeah. Okay. Thanks. Good. You're welcome. Anyone else on the call that has a question? Oh, okay. Here we go. Near the beginning, you mentioned the magic being one of the most important parts. Is that taking action? That is absolutely taking action, Laura. That's the one piece that I feel so many people fall short on is when you start working with the cosmic kitchen and integrating what you desire and start seeing things, whether it's you see a butterfly 10 times in one day and it relates to something that you're manifesting, or it's out of the blue, someone calls you and offers you a job, or money shows up in your checking account or something like that. That's the magic because you're stepping into taking that action step. Then I think, like I said, most people make their boards and then they put it in the corner and they think, okay, like I said, Amazon Prime, bring it to me. Good question though. Thank you for confirming that. How can I get back to the slide show from the beginning? I will incorporate that as a PDF file when we do the replay of the video. So you'll have that as well. So those, do you need to look at something now from the slide, or you're just wanting to have the slides? Who asked that? Shirley? She's still on the call.
I don't see it. I don't see her name showing up. Okay, so hopefully that answered your question. Oh, okay, she'll wait for the email. It did. All right, cool. Glad you, yeah. You are welcome. Thank you, Sharon. I'm looking forward. Oh, there you are. Thank you. I know it's like I'm trying to read all the names. I'm glad it was helpful. Thank you for showing up. Here, I'll unmute you. There, now you can speak. I can hear you.
Oh, okay. I'm off mute. Okay, great.
Yeah, I did it for you.
Can you hear me now? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you very much. It's been very helpful.
Good. I'm glad. I'm
Yeah.
glad. Thank you for saying that, and I appreciate you being here.
Yes. And how do we contact you? Are you sending an email out? Or?
The email will have all the information on scheduling in my calendar and everything like that. So like I said, give it a couple of days, but you can go to my other social media channels that I mentioned there at the end through Facebook or Instagram or my website, and you can communicate with me there as well. You can connect from that place as well.
Okay, great. Have a great evening.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions? Who did someone say my name? Let's wait a few minutes here. Did I miss any? I don't know if I missed any. Inspiring. Yeah, okay, I answered that. Anyone else have questions? Excited to create my first one. I'm excited to see them. Thank you. Always inspired when we connect. Oh, awesome. Here was. Okay. Okay, anyone else looking at what you're working on? If you have a question about it. Good. Yeah. Well, it was a lot of fun, ladies, for sure. It's never, you know, it's one of those things. Sometimes it's amazing how we can learn something and be changed forever. So that's always my intention as well, is to help everyone find balance and create their life by design. Holly, things going good for you? Good. Let me unmute you. There we go. It takes it a minute, I guess. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm doing well.
Good.
I'm excited to start the vision board, and I think I had a question. Do you add like your, you know, like your statement on there? Remember how you wrote that statement where it was like in a sequence of, would you write that statement that you were talking about, you know, like pictures and things like that, but would you also incorporate writing that statement on there?
So I feel it should be somewhere, whether it's on the board, on the back of the board, on a note card, somewhere, so that you are reminded why you're even doing this to begin with. Because I think even though the images are there, that statement can really have a good reminder. Yeah.
Right.
So then if you're like, if you put it in your phone in your notes, or you put it on a note card, then if you're out and about, you could, you know, just see that card and be reminded of all those pictures that you've put on that board. So again, the mind can visualize it because it already knows what it looks like, but the words are reminding you.
Right. It can be very powerful and impactful, because that's what you're, like you say, you're trying to manifest all that and make your, you know, your plan of action, you know, from that.
Yes. Yes. And it makes it very clear too. So it's not like a willy-nilly kind of thing where you're just like, oh, I want to be healthy, period.
Yeah.
Well, why do you want to be healthy? And what's it look like to be healthy? And what are you going to do to be healthy? And what's the outcome of being healthy? Longevity, vitality, whatever, you know, it's like really aligning that. And again, I think that's the piece that a lot of people, like with the vehicle, me needing a vehicle wasn't a have to, but I knew I would get a new vehicle at some point. Well, then I wind up getting a used vehicle, and it's a vehicle that I didn't even originally think I was going to get. I thought it was going to be a brand new, and it was used. And it's been like, oh my gosh, the best car ever.
That's awesome. Yes. Very
So,
good.
yeah,
Yeah, terrific. Thank you. Yes, this is
you're
great.
welcome.
Enjoyed
It's
it
good.
very much.
Good seeing you on here. I'm glad that you were able to attend, and I'll be following up with you too, so we
Yeah.
can talk about
Yes.
what we talked about the other day. So,
Right.
yeah,
Yes, perfect.
awesome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a good
Yes.
rest of your night.
Yes, you too.
All right. Any other questions? We still got about 15 minutes. Like I said, I always honor the time and the way that I feel like you were planning to be here that long, and sometimes we. Yeah, I'm going to sign off. Thank you. Okay. Let me see. Okay. So it looks like Sue, Mindy, Shirley, Tanya, and iPhone. The one says iPhone. Are you ladies good? Is there anything that I can support you with in this call? You have a question? Got a lot of ideas, I'm sure, swirling around in your mind of what this is going to look like. Yeah. Yes, Mindy, it is being recorded, and the follow-up email that I will be sending with the other freebies and the links and the opportunity to meet with me, you'll get all of that as well as the PowerPoint. So if you came in late, you'll be fine because you registered. If you have registered your email, I forgot to announce that earlier. I assume that everybody did because that's how you got the link to come into the meeting. But yeah, you'll get that. And probably in a day or two, because we'll have to make sure the video is edited if it needs edited at all. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Holly. Thank you. That's sweet. You as well. All right, Sue and the other person on the call, is there anything else I can support you with? If we're all good, I'll wait just a minute. Sometimes it takes a minute for the messages to come through. And if we're good, maybe say good, and we'll go ahead and close the call, the training. All right, well, thanks again for participating in the virtual vision board workshop, Manifest from Quarantine. I hope it's been in service to those of you who were a part of this live experience, and I also hope it'll be in service to those of you who get to catch the replay. I will be sending out information for you to contact me and get you on the schedule so that we can talk about your vision board and what you learned from this workshop and moving you forward. I'm always in deep gratitude when I can show up, be my authentic self, and share my gifts with the world, and I wish you the same opportunity. So I send you blessings, love, and light. Until we meet again, have an amazing night.